Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name's Monica, and I am sorry I haven't been around. It has been a very busy and kind of weird August. So my sister got married, and when she got married, she got married cross country. And as you know from my community page, I had to go to Utah, and unfortunately I didn't get to see Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life. We did try to meet up, but my timeline was so narrow that it just unfortunately didn't happen. Anyway, but that's not what this video is about, and so let's just get into it. I'm here to talk about Erin Mallon. So Erin Mallon is one of my favorite female narrators. I love her. I think she's very talented. She's actually a writer as well. She writes mostly romantic comedies and plays. She's written like these Walls Can Talk series and the romantic comedies for the plays. For her romantic comedy series, it's the Natural History series, Flirtosaurus, Lovebug, Sharkbait, and then the Natural History novellas. I haven't actually read those. I want to read them. I just haven't made them a priority simply because I haven't been in a big rom-com mood lately. I'm not sure why. I usually love rom-coms, but it's been a few years since I've wanted to read a rom-com. I've been more in an angsty, just give me dark mood. I don't know. But sometimes I like to pick up a good rom-com. So when I get back into the mood, I'm definitely going to be picking her up. I have some that I really want to talk about. And how I found Erin Mallon was through Jana Aston. And I just have to shout out Jana Aston. I know Crystal doesn't like Jana Aston, and that's okay. We love who we love. I love Jana Aston. A friend of mine recommended Wrong. And yes, I am not going to talk about Wrong again because, or Right, or the Cafe series. I know, I talk about it a lot. But I love her. She's quirky, she's fun. I just love her Instagram. I love her whole personality. Erin Mallon basically does almost every Jana Aston book, if not all of them. I'm not sure if she has done all of them, but the one I really want to talk about is Good Time. And the reason why, this is book 2 in the Vegas Billionaire series. We're still waiting for book 3. It's been a while. But here's the thing with this one, is I generally hate married in Vegas, eloped in Vegas stories, because I generally think they're dumb. And the reason why I generally think they're dumb is because you can't actually get married in Vegas. Well, drunk and married. You have to actually go get a license to get married. You can't get married on a whim. So it doesn't work. And every time someone says that you can't do that, it never works. But for some reason, this one, Good Time, does work for me. So this story is about Peyton and Vince. Peyton is crazy, fun, and knows what she wants, and she goes after it. She's also in her early 20s, whereas Vince is 37-year-old intelligent lawyer who's very serious. He's also an owner of a strip club. He takes care of his strippers. If I remember correctly, and it's been a very long time since I've read this, his mom was a stripper, and he makes sure he takes care of his girls so that they do not, so they're not harmed, basically. So he's actually a very good guy. Anyway, one night they all go out partying and get drunk, and Peyton and Vince gets married. You know what happens next. Anyway, again, this type of trope doesn't always work for me, and actually never works for me, but it did because of the humor that Jana Aston puts into this book, and because of Erin Mallon's narration. This book is just so good. I love this book so much. And I don't think, did she have any? she didn't have any co-narrators for this book, so she ended up holding this book on her own, and I loved it. And by the epilogue, I was totally invested in their love story, and it was so much fun. I didn't take it seriously, and it wasn't so over the top that it was wholly unbelievable, because guess what? They definitely knew what they were about when they did get married. So, well, as much as you can be knowing what you're about when you're drunk. So anyway, yeah, I loved that one. That one is such a good one. And honestly, Erin Mallon does narrate all of the girl parts for Jana Aston. So I think they have a good thing going. Okay, anyway, moving on. The next one I do want to talk about is A Favor for a Favor, and this one is book 2 in the All-In series by Helena Hunting, and this one is Stevie and Bishop, and this one, I wouldn't say it's enemies or rivals. They just have a big giant misunderstanding. He thinks she is the mistress to her brother because she comes in the middle of the night looking like a hot mess because, well, she catches her boyfriend cheating on her on their brand new couch that her brother gives to her when they move to Seattle. And her brother is an NHL player, and it's his teammate. Anyway, he gets this really bad injury where it's a groin injury, and Bishop's trying to prove himself because his brother has type 1 diabetes, and so he's trying to build a nest egg to keep his family going. They do not come from money. And anyway, her brother has a really bad reputation, and you meet him in the book series at the very end, or close to the very end, with Lance the Romance, his book. Anyway, her brother is Rick, which is book 1, A Lie for a Lie. Anyway, so Stevie is a physiotherapist. Yeah, I think she's a physiotherapist, and she's trying to make a name for herself after college, and her douche of an ex won't leave her alone at work, and so she starts working with Bishop to get some experience, and it's their love story, and so they end up helping each other, and then they end up falling in love. It's such a fun story, and I love it, and I love their and I love how their chemistry and their banter. It has such great banter to it. And there's this one scene where he plays up his he puts on baby lotion and peacocks around just to make her ex uncomfortable, and it's like he does a hip thrust where he hip thrusts his groin into her face just to be obnoxious, just to make her ex uncomfortable, and it's so funny. I was just laughing out loud. It's such a great book. That whole series, the All-In series, so it's Lie for a Lie, Favor for a Favor, A Secret for a Secret, and then A Kiss for a Kiss. And I've talked about this in the past a lot, actually, because I love this series. It's such a good series, and Erin Mallon narrates Stevie. She does such a great job. Like, Stevie is very insecure. She's an insecure character, and Erin Mallon pulls that insecurity out very well. And then, but also the sexiness. And then, because when they finally, because this is slow, this one's a slow one, because when they finally let their lust and their attraction and their love come out, it really comes out in a very public way, and it's so much fun to read, to listen to, and it's so much fun to read physically as well. But I highly recommend the audiobook. But this one's on KU Read and Listen because Mallon published it for Helena Hunting, so you can actually go listen to this for free. Isn't that great? You can hear Erin Mallon narrate Stevie's part. It is wonderful. and I highly recommend it. So go download it if you have KU and go listen to it. It's one of my favorite Helena Huntington books, and it's one of my favorite in the series. So, and Erin Mallon did a really good job bringing Stevie to life. And if we're gonna really talk about some angst, I want to talk about The Words by A. Jade. This one is a chunker. Okay, this one is a very long book. And this one is a rock star romance. This one is second chance, and he sacrifices his relationship with her for fame. Basically, they start out in high school. He has dyslexia. She helps him. He takes her lyrics, pretends that it's his, becomes a famous rock star. Years go by. He needs a babysitter because he becomes dependent on alcohol, and then something happens and one of his bandmates is killed in a car crash because of drugs. Anyway, and the only person who will not to give him drugs is the one person who hates him the most, and that is her. Erin Mallon can do comedy like nobody's business, but when she does drama and the angst like she does in The Words with Phoenix and Lennon, whew, she brought it out, and she should have won an award for this one because I felt it. I felt the anger, the angstiness, the longing that Lennon had for Phoenix. It was just so well done, and she really hit every note. And I think her co-narrator for this was Teddy Hamilton, and he really kept up with her. They did such a good job with The Words. I mean, this one was fantastic. So if you've even read this physically, do yourself a favor and go get the audiobook, because the audiobook was that good. So the next one I want to talk about is From the Embers, and she narrated this one with Connor Chris. And this one was very dramatic. This one was about a guy who is an upcoming musician who loses his wife in a fire. He actually tries to pull out his wife, but he pulls out his wife's best friend who hates him. And his best friend dies in the fire along with his wife. But then all these secrets start coming out. But then it's like a soap opera coming to life. And it's a very interesting read. And oh my gosh, they did Erin Mallon and Connor Chris did such a good job. And it was my first Ali Martinez book. I haven't read another one of her books yet, but I do plan on reading some of her books. I just haven't gotten there yet. I absolutely love From the Embers, and Erin Mallon did such a great job with that book. I also feel like she's done a few audiobooks for Catherine Cowles. However, my favorite lately that she's done is Echoes of You. This is book 3 in the Lost and Found series, and she's co-narrated this one with Jason Clark. And this one actually is Nash and Maddie. Maddie just came back. She's running away from an ex who's very abusive. So be very aware of that if that is a trigger. So here's the thing with Catherine Cowles' books. I never rate them anything less than a 4 or 4.5 stars. This one was a 5-star for me. I just feel like dynamic between Maddie and Noah. And I loved how Maddie grew as a character and how Noah grew as a character. And I love how Erin Mallon brought Maddie to life, and how her narration, you know how a narrator can make or break a character. And she made Maddie shine even more than she could have on the page alone. So I really feel like her narration made Maddie come to life so well that Erin Mallon elevated the character of Maddie for me personally, and that's probably why I love this. That and the plot. I think the plot was a really, really interesting plot. So yeah, definitely if you haven't checked out Echoes of You, definitely check that one out. The last one, and the reason why this one was a surprise for me, was because here's the thing. Before the Cottonwood Cove, actually even the first Cottonwood Cove book, Laura Pavlov hasn't worked that well for me, but the second one worked pretty well for me. I actually enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars because it was really good. But On the Shore really worked for me because of the banter. Oh my gosh. And when I was putting this list together, I was listening to On the Shore. and Erin Mallon was the narrator for Brinkley. I think her name's Brinkley, yes. Her name's Brinkley Reynolds. And she is a sports reporter. It wasn't really hate to love or enemies to love or rivals to love. It was more of, and we made stupid assumptions about each other, and then we decided to have a conversation and work with each other, and then we fell in love. Woohoo! And that's really what that book was about. Anyway, and I really loved it. I had such a good time with that book, and Erin Mallon did such a good job with that book, and her co-narrator was Joe Arden. I just really loved that book, and I just had such a great time with it, and I gave it 5 stars. It was so good. Anyway, so those are some of the books that Erin Mallon narrated that I think you should check out. Let me know if there's any below that I have missed that you think I should check out. And if you made it this far in this video and you want to let me know that you've been here, please leave me an Apple emoji, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.